Hard work, work.
Hard work, that's what they say.
Hard work, work.
Hard work, I earn my pay.
Hard work, work.
Hard work, do it every day.
The first 72 hours always a UVA life. Oh man, that's funny. Oh my goodness. So every time people would start, okay. All right. One of our most memorable moments, all right, on the USS Kidd. All right. When we was on the Kidd, I mean, Hazing was like, rampant. It was like rampant. I mean, guys used to go down the berth, and I mean, we used to wrestle. And I remember that water fountain. I was getting banged up, beaten up. Everybody used to slam into that water fountain. The panel fell off. Them guys going in the lockers and stuff. Were you there when Cousins bought the boxing gloves? Were you there when Cousins bought the boxing gloves down the berthing?
I don't remember that.
You remember? Okay. Cousins got kicked out. I think you already got kicked out by then. But this HT3 named Cousins, he had brought dang boxing gloves down there. And I mean, during lunchtime, we used to go at it and beat the shit out of each other. And you remember Chief Andrews, right? You remember Chief Andrews?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Chief Andrews came down there and caught us boxing. And he took the gloves. He's like, what are y'all crazy? Beating the hell out of each other down there.
At least it wasn't.
But I remember, yeah, man. But I remember this, and this is true story right here. True sea story. All right. We was down in Berthen that day. I think we had duty that day. And it was me and Cole. You remember Cole, right? You remember Cole?
Yeah, I think I know what you're
And then me, you, Cole, we start wrestling. And then it turned out bad. It was like you fell and I had your head and it fell into the ground. It was almost like a DDT.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And then we saw you getting carted off, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the end for you and me, Cole. Cole started crying, It's like, boy, we out of here, boy. We probably going to the break, Cole. And
so you gotta go slow because go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's funny that because a lot of this has come up recently. There's a lot of stuff about that you don't know, because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
Do you remember Vaughn?
Yeah, I remember Vaughn. He had like McDonald's 2 weeks when we was underway.
Yeah, he was a young kid, right? And
yeah,
I think he came in, towards the end of when I was there. Well, I know he did because we had that. I think I told you about. We had that reunion a couple months ago down in Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
and he popped up. Bourne was there, so Bourne was communicating with him, but Vaughn popped up. None of us remembered him. He looks completely different.
Yeah, he came on. He got stationed on the ship where I was transferring,
right.
And I was like, man, I'm trying to picture your face, man, but you look totally freaking different.
Yeah, he looks completely different. So he actually brought up that incident, and it had slipped my mind. It's a pretty wild story, my part of it, but I'll let you finish your part of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I remember we wrestling. We got you in the headlock. Your head went into the freaking deck and shit. We and Cole was so freaking freaked out and shit. We so freaked out. And then we saw you because we was on a healer hanger watching you getting across. Like, God. And then, our names get passed over to 1MC when you was gone. And just before that, I think a message that came out about hazing. They ain't gonna be no more hazing because, they used to damn tack on people, crows, beat the hell out of them and shit,
Right.
And I'm like, God damn. So we go in there, and I can't remember the Chang name because he was the CDO. The Chang was the CDO that night. And we went. You remember his name?
It was after Langham Dance, right? It was I don't remember.
I know he had black hair. He had a black hair. He's a cool guy. I can't not remember that guy's name. I remember Ensign Watt's name. I remember him, the MPA. But I cannot remember.
When I was there, it was Lang Dance, and then the other guy, the short black dude that came on. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was MPA. That was MPA. I don't remember who was there after Lang Dance.
Yeah, but
I don't remember.
But we went and sat down with the Chang, And he didn't even yell at us. He was talking with us. He's like, "What happened?" We tell him what happened, and we said we was freaked out. Cole was crying. I about to start crying, man. I was like, God, man, I expect that to happen. And he's like, now you see, he's like, hey, about hazing. And I was like, I'll never do that again. Never do it again.
I mean,
and
I'm not sure it was hazing because it was more we're just goofing around. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember a lot of it. I remember, like I said, I'll get into what I remember of it because my story is completely.
Go ahead with your story. Go ahead.
So I vaguely remember, like real vaguely remember, us wrestling. Honestly, I don't remember anything after that. So what happened was I got this from nurses and stuff. They heroed me to DePaul Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where that was. It's not even open anymore, that hospital anymore. And I spent a day or two in that hospital, and then they took me to Portsmouth. And honestly, that's pretty much where I woke up, was in Portsmouth. Like I don't remember being in. When I woke up in Portsmouth, I had the hospital gown on from DePaul, and I was like, "What is this?" And they were like, "Well, that's where you went first." And that's the only way I knew that I was at that other place. And so I was in Portsmouth for I think like a day or two. And they were just, whatever. I remember they had the thing up my nose. What do you call it? They put the tube up my nose.
Yeah.
And I just kept ripping it out. That's the most I think I can remember. I just kept ripping it because I hated it, and I just kept ripping it out. But yeah, I was in Portsmouth for like, I don't know, maybe a day or two. They were a couple days, whatever. They were just watching me, and they let me go. And you guys were out when I left there. You guys, the ship was gone. I don't know, I think it was Sea Charles or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The ship went out, and they were like, "All right, go ahead, you're released." And I was like, "Where do I go?" I didn't know, so I drove back home to home, and I was driving to my mom's house, and I drove. It's 3.5, 4 hours to get here. I drove up, get home, go get home, knock on the door, and someone answered the door. Not my mom. It was my childhood home. It was a home I grew up in.
Uh-huh.
But my mom had been moved, like, years before that. And it freaked me out because I was like, I think that I'm okay, everything's all right, but I really wasn't. So I was like, holy crap. And so I drove back down to Norfolk, go to Virginia Beach, and got a hotel and waited there, I think, for however many days till the ship got back in. But yeah, it was wild. And I think I've told that story a couple of times over the years, but that part I remember. But you and Cole, I didn't remember until Vaughn. We met up with Vaughn, and he was like, I remember because you were wrestling with Cole and Starks, and I was like, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that day I was like, oh my gosh. And like if we had done that in the Days Navy, shit, we've been out the door. We've been out the door, man. I mean, we would have got kicked out like that. We've been off the ship that same day. We done something. But I'm serious. He sat us down. The way he talked to us, he didn't yell at us. He just, talked to us. And I mean, the way he was talking to us, man. Oh my, it was heartfelt. You shouldn't have done this. You remember the message that came out? We was like, yeah. And man, oh my gosh, we felt so bad. Oh my goodness. And then, they when we was out to sea, they was, saying, giving you updates on what, was going on with you and stuff like that. Gosh, man, it felt so bad. And then you came back on like nothing ever happened. Like nothing ever happened.
There was nothing back
because killed you. Yeah, we almost killed you, and you came back on like it was all good, nothing ever happened.
Like it was nothing.
You were smiling. I'm like, God damn.
I mean, I always be. But you know what's funny is because when I met up with those, when we met up down there, North, it was me, it was Waldorf. Remember Brian Waldorf?
Yeah.
Hurlburt, Luganbiel, and Bourne. Waldorf, yeah, and none of them guys. I don't think any of those guys remembered that. Like it wasn't, it wasn't a big deal. To me, it was a big deal, but like I don't think, none of them remembered that.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, I think that's how it was back then. You didn't, rub dirt on it, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You just kept moving. Like I said, a day, shit, man. We went off that ship today, getting ready to process for dishonorable discharge. Everything. I mean, they just treat it like, okay, yeah, it's bad. Okay. You know it's bad, right? Yeah, okay. All right. But yeah, man, I wish I could remember that Chang name. I can't remember his name. Cannot remember his name.
Hard work.
Hard work, Hard work, Hard work,
Hard work. That's what they say.
Hard work,
Hard work. I earn my pay.
Hard work.